everyone. Uh, I'm just trying to record my journey where I'm trying to start with like hacker rank challenges or lead code challenges. I found that I was doing like simple problems. I have a 6 years plus experience and I started it, uh, and I found that I was struggling a lot. So I I think I should start recording this. So if someone goes through similar kind of challenges, I'll record which challenge I'm not providing any solutions. Maybe I will get stuck and nothing works out. I'm just have put here chat GPT so that like we can get resolved with respect to hints, not the actual solution, and get ahead. But that's what I will be doing. Let's get started. I haven't looked at this, or like maybe I'll be completely puzzled if I don't understand this. But yeah, it will be a journey where I'll start here and then I can be a good coder some point of time, or like with respect to data structure and algorithm. I'm anyways a good coder, but I haven't looked at these topics since I was in college, like maybe 7 8 years back. Let's get started. This is check palindrome by filtering non-letters. Okay, I'll just look at the input first before I read the question, because I think that's efficient. So it has some characters, number, a non-character or non-number, and then it returns 1. Alright, given a string containing letters, digits and symbols, determine if it reads the same forwards and backwards when considering only alphabetic characters. Alright, I think it is trying to skip the numbers or some other characters, and we'll just try to see if it is a palindrome or not. According to this, it is a palindrome. I think it is also not case sensitive. It is written here, so it's case insensitive as well. It's kind of difficult if it is case insensitive. I think it is saying it is a easy challenge, but with what I read, it's being getting difficult as I read it. Extract only letters. Alright, that's first step. Convert to lowercase. Yeah. Compare sequence forward and backward. If it is true, containing letters A, Z, Z, digits 0 to 9 and symbols. Do we need digits? Given a string containing letters, digits and symbols, determine if it reads the same forward and backward when considering only alphabetic characters. So digits does not matter actually. 0 to 1000. Okay, I'm not sure if I do it exactly as it says. It is going to be simpler, like it gets like how I'm thinking is it is involving too many for loops. At least like first we need to clean it up, the sequence, then we need to convert it, then we need to compare the sequence once we have that truly available. So I don't know like if, so it basically wants, what is the return here? It's fine if it reads the same backwards and forward when considering only alphabet. Okay, this is just a true and false statement, and I think we do not have to, I was thinking if I have to find a palindrome with a given sequence, but it is just if it is like it is not like find the maximum length of palindrome present, but it is just it might be a palindrome or it might not be. So I think it is, now I feel it is simpler. What I will do is, let's start with, oh, it's character pointer. I was thinking it as an vector array, but I think this is also fine. I'll need a different kind of syntax to capture this, so it's alright. I don't know if this works, but yeah, is equal to give length. Now this kind of problem set like this became tricky. It is not tricky actually, but uh, now like I have been used to using the chat GPT or like Google, so I don't know what exactly I have to use with a character pointer to get its length. I know what the process would be like. Int, I need the length, but how to get the length, and then that's how like this for loop will be constructed. If this was vector, I am used to using vector a lot. But yeah, let's see how to get. So this is why I have no. Oops. How to get length of. So maybe in initial days, maybe when we get things sorted, it will be clearer. Okay, all right. I think this is the syntax I'm looking for. So I'm not going to check for the complete solution, but maybe somewhere here and then I will have to use this kind of things like the syntax wise. So let's just start at 0. This is like very simple if you know everywhere like the coding basics. Just check length, or I would have done it like code dot if it is a null, or like the end is \0, which is null pointer. That way is as well good, I think. I plus plus, this is how I'm thinking of traversing it. And what I have to check if it is oops, if it is a character or not. Now again I am confused about how to verify if it is a character or not. So generally how I might have done it is if it is in the range of ASCII characters, that means it is a character. But yeah, let's go back. Like I don't want to spend too much time here. So how to check if character is alphabet. Okay, it is using is alpha. I don't know why it's getting it from is. So yeah, this is what I was thinking about. If it is between this. Okay, I think I will again need how to make it lowercase. I'll just use single for loop for that. To lower. Alright, excellent. I just copy this here, and then for this what we have to do is alpha. Think that should be sufficient. Is alpha needs C types. So let's mention it here. Alright, this is code, this is CH is basically code of I. So I'm like trying to read the first, or like the whatever character I'm processing. If it is a alpha character, not alphanumeric, if it is an alpha character, I'll have to keep it, otherwise I want to delete it. Should I create a new array now? Now that's next question. Is it needed really? I don't know. But it is. It has not said that I cannot create new arrays or vectors or anything. So otherwise, what I'll have to do is like delete out whatever is not an alphanumeric character. What would be easier, deleting it or not? Like, I'm not using a vector, so I'm not going to, if I delete it is not going to cause any problem. If it was a vector, I deleted a slot and then I have to jump to, like, the addressing has to change because I removed zeroth element. Now first element becomes 0, so that kind of adds CPU cycles to get processed. But in this case I don't have to do that. If uh, I delete particular thing, but I don't know like how this character pointer is going to work here. But yeah, let's just try to write something down. If it is alpha, I want to keep it. I also want to make it lower. So instead of this, I will code I, this will get changed, then I have to just make it so it becomes lower. And if it is not uh, alpha character, then I have to delete it. So I'm a little bit confused here, like what will happen if I delete it? Like, can I even delete it? Can I delete like certain element, ith element, and then the sequence is fine? So I'll just quickly ask this, like, because I want to proceed, I don't want to get stuck somewhere and then just think on my own, because this is like not logic. I know. I did not ask the question. I don't know what it will answer. I don't want to read that. I'll write it again, and I'll just say what happens if I delete code 2, or log is 2 from the character pointer code. Will it cause any problem, or and how to delete it? So that's simple question. You can't delete. Oh, I was not aware, or like I have forgotten. So you can't delete a character from character pointer like you would in a dynamic container. If you try to just remove code 2, you will run into problem unless you shift the rest of the string. So I think the best way to do is create a new character pointer or create a new array or something vector instead of like deleting from here. So if you delete to what it is saying, if there was a question mark and we thought of deleting it without shifting, you leave garbage, length is wrong, string becomes inconsistent. So to delete code I, move everything after it. Yeah, that makes sense, but is that recommended or is that too much in my case? That's what I'm trying to check. So it is trying to add a delete character code for that, and then it will have to move everything. Uh, it says string must be modifiable. String must be modifiable. So if it is a star code wrong, string literal read only. So it says this is a read only thing, and if it does a like array, it would have been a modifiable string. So this particular thing is not actually modifiable. Loop important insights. Oh, it is saying decrement I, or you will skip characters. Why will I skip characters? If I just go from 0 to whatever, why will I have to? Oh, because I delete. If I delete whatever I have to delete, then I'll have to decrement it, update the length. Okay, fine, but I think I should not delete. That's my conclusion over here. So let's not delete. Let's just try to have it as if it is let's get a vector because that's like easier, or like that's I know a couple of things around vector. So let's create a new vector. Hopefully I solve it. It's an easy example. I want to solve it as early as possible and do not extend this video as well. So will that be fine? Think so. So what's wrong here? Will this work without this? There are problems with different kind of, what we call it, oh, why I was using C. Am I stupid? Like that's why it was a character code. If this was C++, it would have been simpler. That's like very stupid to like. That's where I'm like, you can say I'm like completely beginner in this. Like I have just started trying to do this. Let's go back. Okay, now it is not even a character pointer or not even a vector. It is a string code now. All right, but I think I know the syntax around this. I got, but yeah, because of this I learned how to get length of character pointer, and I created with string length, I think. So let's do code dot length. Okay, that is fine. I gets length, I get the length. Rest of the things should still be same. Now what I want is, now this is like working out. So what I want is I have to add it to v. So there might be add v dot add to the end, or like in place underscore back should be there. Yes, place back. And I would just do, instead of assigning this here, I don't have to do that now. I'll put it here, and let's get rid of this. Oh. Okay, this looks for a semicolon. Now this is fine. I will just create a new complete loop, else I don't care. Just let's move out of this, and once we have, I'll now use, I think I should use 2 pointers. So basically if this whatever this is, a b a, I'll just write it down. Now we'll have, without the alphanumeric characters or like without other symbols, I'll just have a b, capital B and a, or not even this, I'll just have everything in small, a b b a up. So I'll run another for loop, or should I run another for loop? That's first question. I want to have 2 pointers, like first one is pointing here and the next one is pointing at the end. Will that be one single for loop, or like what kind of loops we use for this, like 2 pointer thing? For loop under a for loop, or like maybe let's get started. I might get wrong results, but I don't want to keep waiting on anything. So I'll just say j here, j is equal to 0. Now I want j to just go half of the length. That's where I'm like confused. So if I to not get the right value, I might get screwed up here. So I don't want to go whole, I want to go less, and that would be, I have to get new length now, so I'll have to get v dot, is there a length or is there size is there. Okay, that's good, this suggests something. So I have to go halfway just to be sure. I'll put presses here, so j will go halfway and the other halfway will be traversed by, I suppose, k. So j plus plus, I'll do not do a for loop inside this. I'll manage an int k, and I don't know if I have to put this outside or inside, but I will put it here. Int k is equal to v dot size. So basically v dot size will give me, if it's 10 element, it will give me 10, but the pointer will be 0 to 9, so I'll just do -1 here, and that makes sense. And I will have to decrement k as I move ahead. So what I will do, if my vector v and j, so this is the z, first I will have 0th element. What I'm checking here is if v of 0 is equal to v of my size -1, which is like last element, which is k. So if that is true, I'm good, or like it is a, like we are traversing a palindrome, then whatever the spelling is, and I'll have to keep doing it if it is true. So because I have to keep doing it, I think I will break here, or like it should be continue. It should be continue. I don't have to write this. I think there will be just two if and else, and we'll move out. So if it is matching, what I have to do is k equal to k -1. I can write k minus minus as well, but sometimes it's get problematic, so I'm just trying to keep it very simple, straightforward, no confusion with that, because sometimes when you do minus minus k, it increments earlier, and when you do k minus minus, it increments later. So sometimes it gets like it kind of gets into trouble, but not really it will get, but I'm just trying to avoid those kind of things right now. So if it is, well, k gets decremented, and we move ahead. Now there will be a case where they j and k will be at same point, or they will match, or it might be possible if we miss out the middle element, but that will be fine. If we miss out the middle element, I don't really want to compare that, but I just want to go with k, where k should not take this value, because that is already taken by j, and then it will end. So let me write first of all this. So if it is, I'll have to just pass false or like 0 in this case, because that's a clear no match. Now I'll write here int. Okay, it's a boolean, so I don't have to write int, I'll have to write bool. I can write it at the start as well, but it's okay. I'll assume that it is a not a palindrome, and then we'll keep it updating every time here. Return is equal to 1, and every time, or like anytime it reaches here, it's not a palindrome, so I'll make it 0 here, and then once we are here, we don't want to check anything else after we did this. So I think it is kind of close to how it will work. I'll just have to return, where is this closing bracket. I don't want to mess out. So this is its closing bracket. Where is this closing bracket? Is it? Oh, maybe I'll have to write it down. So return return ret and then closing bracket. I think this should work. Maybe I'll miss out some edge cases, but let's try. So it will check here. K will get. I might get into trouble with respect to. Yeah, there was a problem, but one of the case passed. So this was a palindrome ABC CBA, and that worked well. I don't want to get into details. So this is a wrong answer because input was a Z and then it expected 1 and it might have not returned 1. So if it was just Z, what will happen? Let's see. This will be length will be 1, 0 is less than 1, and then it will just implies into V. When we go through V, J will take, what will be this? It will just make it 0 or what? 1 divided by 2 will be, think it will be 0 in terms of integers. This is where like I will get in trouble. I know, like maybe when we get to the rest of test cases which are not visible, I'll definitely get into problems with this kind of logic, because it is not going to give me a defined number or like proper center. So yeah, for this particular case I can just write like if it is less than 1 and then if it is a character, we just pass 1 and that will be fine. But I just wanted to think over here a little bit. So let's just do what I just said. So we'll have v kind of created here, and if v size is 1, remember this size could be 1. This size code string might have 1, but it will be just a question mark or like some random character, and we don't want to return palindrome in that kind of scene. So when we have v and then we will have size which will be equal to 1, that just means that we can just return 1 and we don't care what happens next. But in some other cases, like I might get problem here, but it is a simple code or like easy level, so I think it should work out. I hope it works out. Okay, nice. I literally have failed 3 tests and I have passed most of it. Okay, I failed first one. It just says wrong answer. This is a weird one. Wrong answer. I was thinking if I get into exception because of like I'm trying to access k and then k is actually not a valid number or like whatever. But in this case, I got into 3 cases where I'm actually failing. Exactly. So what I can do is if let's just assume if I had can I write here? Okay, a we solved a case where ABC was there and that worked, but let's assume, let's try to see what actually it returned. Anyway, it is not even showing me what inputs, and at least it shown output, so I could try to reproduce that case. But let's see, ABC, if this will not be a palindrome, and what I'm trying to create here is the center, like because I think the problem, whatever is happening, is at this point now. So size of this, whatever this is, like it is 3. Now it is going to return me 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. A is at 3, and then I will probably traverse this part, uh, not the whole part, but the first ABC part, because it will end at 3. And now at the same point I start with K as size minus 1, which will be this C, and it will first, I'll check at this with this, which will fail, and then that particular case will be just false. Let's like quickly verify that if I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm just assigning return as 0 and then break. Instead I can just do right here, and then that would work the similar way. But yeah, let's move on. But I'm looking at the case where there will be a palindrome, but it might be an odd number of things. B A A B A, and then in between C here. So in this case, what this will be 7. 7 is size will be 7, and because the size is 7, half pointer will be at 7 by 2 is 3, because it is giving me integer 0, 1, 2, 3. It will traverse till A, it will not traverse C, because I'm like putting size less than that. So in the reverse way as well, I'll go, its size is 7, but it will start 6, 5, 4, and I will check with 1, 2, 3. That is fine. Will it reach this? 7 by 2, 7 by 2 was 3, so 0, 1, 2 was fine. 3 will never process 3, but will that matter? Anyways, I don't want to do that, but let's try to do. So initially I is, or j here, j goes from 0, 1, 2, and k goes from uh, 6, 5, 4. So I think in this case should also pass. Let's assume this case, I don't think this is going to create a problem. Maybe I get into somewhere where the size is 0. So if the size is 0, what should I assume? Is it a palindrome or not? Okay, let's just check that. I think that is the cause of this problem. So if this size turns out to be 0, let me return 0, because there is no palindrome, there is no sequence. Maybe that's the code, or that's the part I was missing, because everything else I think is still getting covered, even though I missed the central point. Okay, it's still passed. It still failed this 3. Yeah, anyways, this was getting covered because it will never go into for loop, and then we will return the return which was 0. What case I'm missing now? Okay, I don't want to get this ahead, so like just talk about what I'm feeling. I'll just paste it here, and then I'll say what corner cases I'm missing. That's how like I will learn. Like, let it do the analysis, and then we quickly move on. You're very close. I know that I have already covered everything. You wrote this. This is usually wrong for palindromic problems. All right. Why? Okay, I added it to fix something, but that's fine. Why? An empty string is generally considered a valid palindrome. Oh, I didn't know that. So let's try to do first that. Maybe That is where I we went wrong. So let's try to quickly check and then we will read further what ChatGPT is suggesting. Oh, I think it worked. So our nice. Like in my first attempt, without any major algorithmic hints, I completed this. It was a easier problem, but yeah, nice. I'll just read out what things. So return. I should not. Oh, you're using return zero, which I think it is saying not to do that. Unnecessary and risky. Then flipping it inside the loop. This is fragile. If loop doesn't run, example 0 1, that's what my first case was. Better approach return early on mismatch. Is alpha plus 2 lower? Unsafe usage. Okay, alright. This can cause undefined waiver for negative character. What will be a negative character? I don't know what is a negative character. So it is suggesting to do unsigned char and do it. Okay, let it be. Redundant checks. So if not needed, your looping loop already handles it. Really? Yeah, possible. Inefficient extra space, not a bug but interview point you are creating. Works but uses O of n extra space. Interviewers often expect O of n space 2 pointers or original string. Yeah, that is fine, I understand that, but I wanted to solve it first. Cleaned up version, same approach, fixed bugs. So maybe it would have got rid of the extra validation, but and then this part it added unsigned character. I don't know what is a negative character. Best solution. So maybe this is how an expert would do it, but let's go through it quickly. So maybe what an expert would do is he will not create, he or she will not create a new space vector that I did, and he will just verify it within itself. So I is checking I and j. This is like 2 pointer. Maybe this is how we should do 2 pointers instead of how I did. I had a for loop and then I decremented j inside that. This here is a better approach, I think. It start with I from 0 and j from the end, and then once they match or like they come closer, this file will fail. That's a good way. Then is alpha, again same thing. I think it is showing, so it is just verifying if it is alpha. If it is alpha, then it is incrementing I. No, if it is not alpha, then it is incrementing I. So I think it is just ignoring. And else if it's doing the same thing again. So either it is incrementing this side or that side. It is not like incrementing or moving the both pointers at the same time. So if this is not a valid alpha character, it gets incremented. If it is valid, we stay on that and we check the other end. If it is not valid, we move inside. Now if both are valid, what we do if both are valid? If both are valid, we verify that if they are equal. If not, we just return true, false, and that makes clear sense. We don't have to do anything else, and we just do increment or decrement here and then return to. Yeah, I think this is great. So we first remove this by like just passing it, ignore it. We don't have to remove it or delete it. Actually, that's where I was going at first. So we do not want to delete, we do not need to delete or remove or create a new space completely. We just ignore them. We move ahead the pointer like from 1 to n minus 1. We moved 2 to n minus 2 without even deleting them. We just ignored them and then moved on and then compared. And whenever there is a mismatch, we just return false and then that's done. Yeah, this is a good approach. I think I will remember this. I don't have to write it. So that was my first problem after a long time into algorithm and data structures. And I think even though I tried added space, I worked great. And yeah, there is improving scope. And then let's see how I do my next example. Thank you.